Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the VOD Squad, a show about streaming technology. I'm your host tonight, Matt, and tonight I'm joined by Jimmy Trammell.
Hey guys.
Clyde Harvey.
Yo.
And Michael Aston.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, it's January the 13th. Nothing's happening as far as streaming technology this week, right?
Well, no. I came all the way to Vegas for CES, and there's nobody here.
Wow.
I had a feeling it was a bad idea.
I figured there'd at least be some people, you know. I figured not everybody's going to go online because that'd be stupid.
Well, all I have to say is I do want footage of you walking up or somehow up against the door of, you know, one of the standard amphitheaters that carry this stuff. Just you kind of tapping
at the convention center.
Yeah, just
we're gonna visit the convention center, and that's it coming.
Yeah, walk through the Venetian with your CES badge around your neck from last year.
Oh, I should. That's the thing I forgot. I was gonna bring my badge from last year.
I think it would be great if you actually got somebody to, you know, and CES this year is a much smaller event than it has been in years past.
Well, I will say I think this is probably the smallest CES that there has ever been.
Wow.
What
we've got one person in attendance.
So what's Vegas like right now? I mean, is Vegas in general fairly empty, or?
It was nice. It's kind of nice. I was able to drive up to the hotel with no problem. I didn't get stuck. I had to make a left-hand turn off of the strip, and it didn't take me a half hour. So yeah, I'd say if you're gonna go to Vegas, right now is the best time, because not only this week is usually one of the best weeks as far as weather, but this year you've also got the lack of people.
Right.
So, but not a lot of hotels are open during the week.
Now,
a lot of the hotels are only open on the weekend.
I heard that you said that you were in the Luxor.
Yes.
Okay. So I have a question. Is the light always on all night long, and does that keep you up at night?
Well, I can't see it.
Okay.
It's on the top of the building.
Okay.
And also I'm in one of the towers. But I can tell you from past experience from being in Vegas that, yes, that light is on all night. You see the beam shooting up into the sky. Yeah.
I mean, shoot, it sure looks like they're asking for the guys from Arrival or something to come down and land there. It's quite the light.
Well, wouldn't that be Stargate?
Yeah, it would be Stargate. I was trying to think of the movie, unfortunately.
The ships were the pyramids.
Yep.
See, the pyramids were what the ships landed on.
Exactly. Makes perfect sense, obviously. That's why they needed to build them, right?
Yeah. All I know is CES or no CES, I'm here. I've got my Jack in the Box. I'm happy.
And all I know is that it's CES, which means there is a ton of news, and so we're going to start with the news this week. We're going to start by talking about a lot of displays and things that have been shown off for this year of CVS. Let's start with LG and all their various displays. They're started off with a story about the fact that they're going to be started producing a lot more of their OLED panels. They're doing some new sizes and making them in vast quantities to make them more available and possibly less expensive. They're going to have as small as a 42-inch OLED model, as well as they're starting an 83-inch version of that display, which will make it a little bit more available and perhaps maybe be a sub $1,000 display in the coming year. So this is cool. I'm so happy to hear that they're going to be making cheaper OLED displays. They've always been not too expensive, the more expensive option, and I'm excited to see that these are going to be coming out soon.
Okay, I mean, we've established in past shows that I much prefer LG's OLEDs, but for the display showing off this new screen, seriously, they chose a fireplace.
Well, yeah, obviously.
You couldn't find anything better.
Well, it's the fact that that you got those really dark blacks and the bright lights. It gives you that good contrast. Also,
the crackling log Christmas fireplace looks absolutely perfect on my 12-year-old plasma. I don't think this is something to show off your OLED.
You're saying that's probably just a YouTube video there, Clyde?
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Wait, why not?
Well, I only have one thing to say about this, and that is the size matters. And this is going the wrong freaking direction.
What?
Bigger is always better.
Well, I mean, they needed to find a way to sell 42-inch TVs for 5 times what 42-inch TVs are running for.
True.
Well, no, I see, but 83 inches, isn't that bigger than what they had?
Oh, no. He was talking about the 42.
Yeah, I know that he is.
Yeah, no, 83 is good. 83 is the right direction.
Right.
I mean,
83 is bigger. My guess is the reason for the 42, they're going for the second television market as well for OLED.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess.
Or your first OLED, that's what I would be considering it for, because, I can't afford the big one, but I can afford this little one. That's totally
all I can say is, despite what they might say, size does matter.
I know, but in a small room,
I think they chose to put that as the headline, the 42-inch.
Yeah.
So I was you're getting confused. Now, if they would have put the 83 inches, the headline, and a subtext of 42 inch as well, then it would be like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Some people do like it small. I don't know
honestly, the 83 is expected. The 42, that is completely, out of left field. Nobody would have expected that. I mean, so I do think that it is proper, the proper headline.
That's fair. Because but I'll say you got to go to my third or fourth TV to get down to 42 inches. So this isn't even second TV market. This is like kids' bedroom market. Come on. 40.
Hey, don't your kids deserve an OLED?
I mean,
I think somebody's going to have some angry children tomorrow.
That would be a
what do you mean,
title,
Dad? I don't deserve an OLED?
Well, since I don't even have an OLED myself, I feel okay telling them, nope, you don't.
So LG's also announced a lot of other upgraded TVs. They have their mid-tier OLED line up starting this year with a lot of upgrades. This is the OLED Evo line. They're being announced with a bunch of features like they're going to be a lot brighter. This is one of the big issues. But they are also doing a lot of AI work to increase the quality of upscaling and able to provide you with a better, cleaner display. LG is, I've seen their processing of some of those displays, and it is probably some of the nicer displays that are doing the upscalings that I've seen.
So basically, the gist of this story, too long didn't read. Jimmy's LG OLED is now officially crap, according to LG, and he needs to buy a new one.
Unfortunately.
I don't know. I still like mine, but
I mean, LG is telling you that it's not good.
Oh yeah, well.
That it doesn't have the right new AI and it's not bright enough.
Jimmy,
you have to buy a new one.
When you're done with it, just send it my way. I'll suffer through it.
I mean, this is always the game, right? I mean, like the cell phone companies next year will be coming out with 6G phones, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm still waiting for 4G.
Yeah, me too. Right. So I mean, it's always the thing there is like, oh, hey, here's the new shiny thing. One thing I will say about this article though, that I thought was also interesting, that I've been reading pretty good things about it, is that mini LED version of LG. Right. So that one does look, and I believe those go for a little less in price than does an OLED.
Yeah,
but
they should be less expensive.
They're less expensive, but yet you still get about the same performance, right?
Yeah, you guys talked about Samsung's mini LEDs last week, right?
I believe so.
Or was that LG?
I believe it was Samsung's. Was there a mini LED?
Samsung.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
I think that one of the things, I guess, are we kind of talking about all the LG stories?
Oh yeah,
now?
we can, we do not have to do these in order. In fact, there's things in there that are not necessarily display related.
The thing,
I mean, go ahead.
The thing that catches my eye from LG is the gaming features that they're looking at in their top end TVs, or their better TVs, and I like the fact that, I mean, shipping with Google Stadia, I don't know what that really means, but what I do think is pretty cool is the fact that it has preset adjustments that are AI based to tune your TV to be better for the games that you're playing and look more vibrant or whatever. And that to me is really cool. I like gaming, so anything that makes my gaming experience a little better. Though, I mean, really, I'm mostly a PC gamer. So I think maybe that's the one place where like those OLEDs might be interesting to me, is like using it as a PC monitor. Assuming that it's going to handle the burn-in okay, that's probably fine with the amount of time I actually end up getting to game.
Hey, it's got Stadia on it, so it's going to have games of that caliber on there anyway. So they figured it out one way or the other.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, so what this is that I mean, they just have they finally have a Stadia app for the LG proprietary smart ecosystem.
Okay.
And also that game optimizer is pretty sweet. It does actually do a really good
the
job
game
with the
optimizer that's cool.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is notable because up until this point, the only way you could play Stadia on a TV was to do it through a Chromecast Ultra.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I think the improved processing that they got on these machines is probably what's bringing that in. Plus to the WebOS 6.0 upgrade that they're having on there. So it's just a combination of the processing and the software that's bringing that.
Yeah.
All right, we ready for something really crazy? LG is bringing out a new projector. It's a Cinnabeam laser projector. Ooh, that sounds amazing. And it does all kinds of various tricks to give you a better 4K laser projection experience. It's up to 2700 ANSI lumens. I like 3000 in my experience, but that's in a bright room. In any normal dimmed room for a movie, that's actually plenty. And it's got your HDR, it's got your Dolbys and all that stuff. But what's the coolest thing, if you ask me, is it will go down. That's right, not up, down to 24 frames per second to give you that old-fashioned movie feel. Yeah, that's right. I wonder if it has the option to turn on that real sound coming from the projector itself. I'm all for it, guys. This is good.
Well, I think this decision is on par with the MLB piping in fake crowd noise.
If he was watching some old movie, if he was watching Gone with the Wind, for example, right? It might play well in those instances, right? But for a modern movie, yeah, you're right, Clyde. Why would you do it on, like, say, a movie that was made this year, right?
Yeah, I mean, one of the question is, what is your content being provided to you at, right? If you're getting content at 24 frames per second, then this kind of a solution is good. If on the other hand, you're getting content at 30 frames per second and it's manipulating it, it's just like if you go the other way, 24 frames per second with interpolation up to 30 frames per second is not going to look as smooth and as nice as the actual 24 frames per second. Because they're having to choose which frame to repeat every once in a while. Right. So it actually is better, but only if the content is delivered in 24 frames per second. And generally it's not. So that's the problem, is where are you going to find contents delivered in 24 frames per second? If so, then it's actually a cool feature to have. It does look like it's a really high quality laser projector. I'm a fan of projectors. I've had them in the past. Your dollar value is unbeatable per inch, so to speak. Because way back when I had like a $2,000 projector that I had like at 96 inches. This is 14 years ago. A 96-inch TV back then would have cost me about $100,000. Yeah. So it looked good. Now, the auto dimming feature of this one, that's kind of their headline. Totally ridiculous. I don't like auto dimming on my phone. I definitely wouldn't like it on my projector. I want to set it the way I want it and tune it to the room the way my eyes like it and not have it adjust. I'm sure that's probably available, but it's just like my phone. I set my phone to the brightness I want. If I want it to be dimmer, I'll manually dimmer the darn thing.
All right.
What do you guys think of the name Cinnabeam?
Yeah, I like the name just fine.
I think it's fun.
It's fine. But here's the thing. I want to watch two things with this movie, with this 24 frames per second. I want to watch The Matrix, because it's basically as the polar opposite. I want to see how bad it could get with the idea of watching a movie like that's intended to be, feel futuristic and to be the 24 frames. And then I want to watch Wizard of Oz, but I only want the black and white scenes to be in 24 frames per second. That's it. I want it to. I'll flip the switch between and go, wow, get that experience of, say, a whole different experience world, and then go back to the 24 frames per second black and white.
I think
that's what I want.
Misperceiving how much of a difference you'll notice between 24 frames per second and not.
Maybe, I don't know. I just think that it would help in the immersion of that feel, because that's what that movie's about. All right, we've got tons of news. Let's get back to more news. LG's last thing about displays we have here is that they've announced a new entry-level line, the A1 OLEDs. These are less expensive OLEDs that should be out sometime this year. A lot of the base features you'd expect from them, they're 4K. But they're not going to have things like 120 hertz. They're not going to be HDMI 2.1. They're going to be, some of the older processors and things like that in it. But it is going to be a lower cost OLED display. No prices announced yet for what these should cost, but hopefully like starting in the $1,000 range or even less, probably, because you're talking about the screen. So more LEDs, LEDs for cheaper sounds great.
So what I'm hearing is A1 equals OLED for CLYDE.
Sounds
about they know that this is the only way that they'll ever get me. I mean, I haven't even been able to get the motivation to buy one of the cheap 4Ks. But so I don't know.
What my advice would be, watch it, look at the display and see how it plays, very closely.
Well, that's why I'm here. I came here to watch it, try it out.
Right. The difference, what I found when I was shopping for mine, the difference is the processing. And this seems to have a lesser processor in it than does the regular OLED.
Oh, sure.
So it might have an OLED screen. That doesn't mean it's going to deliver the same picture.
Well, I already have an OLED screen. I've had an OLED screen for, several years, but
Yeah, just stretch that out to 65 inches.
There you go. Mm-hmm. All right. Last bit is there's a story here about LG's introducing the WebOS 6.0 for all of its 2021 TVs. This is an update. It's WebOS had like a mouse interface for previous versions, and I think it's kind of gone away from that. It's now instead of a bar on the bottom of the screen, it now takes up most of the screen with that bar of different options on the bottom. It's got some new features, like it's able to communicate both with Amazon's Assistant and Google Assistant. It's able to provide you with a good AI and trying to figure out what your next show you want to watch is and keep you up in that stuff. So it's got access to all the. You're another streaming platform, but it's LG specific. So
I mean, as Tom pointed out on Cord Killers when I was there, Palm OS is still alive and kicking. They just call it WebOS. Right. That is literally Palm OS that they're running on their TV.
Exactly right.
I wonder if it still takes graffiti.
I honestly, I commend them for continuing because, HP started doing something with WebOS and then immediately ditched up those plans. And, they're keeping it alive. And
LG got
I
it
don't
for
have
cheap.
any desire to. I don't have any desire to use it, but they're keeping it alive, and I commend them.
All right. Let's move on.
One thing.
Oh, go ahead.
I just have to say one thing because I own LG TVs. I think the WebOS is actually pretty good. But the thing that caught my eye the most out of this whole story is that they have a freaking remote with. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Hotkeys for the darn apps. Those are the bane of the existence of every human being on the planet. I am sure of it. If you don't agree, that's because you've already been brainwashed and convinced otherwise.
I'm pretty sure Batman would disagree. He'll tell you that Bane is much worse than hotkeys.
Yeah. I don't know. Just saying. Stop putting hotkeys on the remotes. We would rather just talk to our voice devices.
But I do agree. The hotkeys drive me crazy, especially when you accidentally hit one and it boots you out of the thing that you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And because like I've talked about before, is I typically turn on the TV when I go to bed, and there's a good chance that I will roll over that that remote or bump into it when trying to find it. And stupid hotkeys. I hate those things.
Yeah. They've added more. They added a Disney Plus one.
Well, now that I'm glad that I don't have an LG, I've just got my Roku that has. Luckily, on my Rokus, 2 of those go to dead apps, like was RDO and
Blockbuster or something like
PlayStation.
That.
Well, no, it's mine are the ones on mine are PlayStation View and RDO.
Right.
So.
All right, let's move on. TCL had a bunch of announcements for us to talk about, and this first one here is the fact that they have got a brand new XL series TV coming out. This is going to be a giant 85-inch TV. They've been saying everybody wants the bigger screens. Okay, we'll give you bigger screens. And this is it's the 8K. It will have all your options from the 120 hertz HDMI input. It will be providing you with a low latency display. They're talking about this coming out later this quarter, and it's going to start at $1,600 for 85-inch screen.
Yowzers! I mean, if this is a quality screen, this isn't their P line. At least it doesn't indicate that. I mean, it's their XL collection. Mm-hmm. The question is it going to be comparable to their top end ones? TCL makes some mediocre to good TVs, but they also make their premium line, and they are actually quite good.
Yes,
they are excellent TVs, and so that really makes me wonder where it's going to fall. I kind of liked the idea. 85 inches is bigger than I need for the room that I have. But if I were setting up a theater room, I'd probably want something like this. Other than the fact that at least the one that they're demoing in the picture is freaking ugly.
What's so ugly about it?
It looks like what I would build in my garage if I was trying to build a stand for a TV.
Oh, okay. The stand.
I mean,
the T-bar.
is,
I'm not a big fan of the T-bar.
Well,
no, he doesn't like it because it looks like a whiteboard. It looks like a whiteboard.
It does.
Well, you're going to hang it on the wall, though, right?
What I'm hoping is you can walk up to it and pull it, and it'll flip.
Make it really easy to get to the cables.
Yeah.
The one thing that kind of makes it, I mean, I see where they're going. So again, this is the mini LED technology, right? Which is not quite OLED, but it performs just as well, right?
Yeah.
And it's 8K. So I mean, I think this is a lot of quality for the price.
And let me remind you that TCL, along with Changhong, are the two brands that really brought 8K to the market like 5-6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They started showing off 8K screens at CES, and when everybody was just starting to wrap their brain around 4K. So they've got a bit of experience. And I will say the ones that I saw in the past were stunning. So the new ones can't be any worse.
Yeah. I mean, if anything was going to get me to buy a new television, that something like this might be what it would be.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what if you could have a 140-inch TV on your...
It's not a Sony Cletus, is it?
No, it's not.
It better not be a Cletus.
No, we're talking.
I hope they shot that thing in the head and buried it with all those ET cartridges in the desert.
No, TCL last year had this Project Archery concept, which is a pair of glasses you could watch, and it would simulate a 140-inch television in front of your face.
Yes.
And these are now apparently coming to market. These
Sweet.
are pretty simple glasses. They're designed to fit over existing glasses if you have them. They give you only an HD quality screen, so I know there's going to be some people who don't like that here, but they're going to be OLEDs, and they're going to be giving you a 140-degree view, and it's going to be providing everything. There's no batteries on this or anything like that. It only plugs in directly to your computer over USB-C or over your phone as well. And it gives you the huge display output. No head tracking or anything like that, as far as I can tell. This is just a giant display on your face.
I remember talking about this last year, and depending on the price, this is the kind of thing that I am interested in. Because, I want to be able to watch a big screen while I'm sitting on an airplane.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to carry around a giant freaking headset that requires me to give up all my private details to Facebook.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Royal demoed something similar to this that we actually got to demo. So TCL had this last year, but they didn't have the demos for it. And so this is pretty comparable to what Royal had. And that was really nice. I strongly considered buying it. I think that it was like 300-ish. So it was just a little bit. Oh,
no. I think the Royal one was closer to $1,000 because you also had to buy the media player with it.
I remembered it was enough that even though I was really interested in it, I decided not to buy it. I guess that shows you my change in perspective of money.
But either way, I'll be interested to check it out when it actually comes out. I guess depending on the price.
Yeah, if it's very inexpensive, I mean, it'd have to be seriously inexpensive too, because since it doesn't do any head tracking or anything like that, it's just a display.
I'd say it. Yeah. The sweet spot for something like this would be around $100.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah, I think you're reaching a little low. I think it's going to be closer to
but I mean, because you can get an Oculus Go thingy for around $3.
Yeah.
So it can't be $300.
No.
But that's why I'm saying in the 100, 150 range.
See, that's what I was going to say, is that it's a difficult product because it's got to compete with all of the similar-ish VR headsets, and with those coming in at $200 to $400 depending on which one you get, it's got to be pretty compelling to justify that price. I mean, geez, I still have in my closet probably a couple of VR headsets that can convert my phone into effectively a 96 or 100-inch screen when you put it this far from your face, right? And they actually look and work pretty well. So it's a hard product to sell, but I would be willing to go. I think Clyde said it right, about 150, maybe 200. If this was $200, I'd probably get it and just use it.
If it's great, it's got to be great for $200.
Well,
I mean, it could be just okay around 100.
Yeah,
but it better for 200.
Yeah, I mean, if you can pay an extra 100 and get a full 3D VR headset, then it's hard to justify 200 if it's not really good.
Yeah.
It's a good device for watching porn.
All right, on that note, let's go ahead and move on. TCL's got to launch some TVs this year, and this year, like usual, they're going to have their models that are going to be based off of the Roku OS, but they're also going to be coming out with some models using Google's new Google TV, which is basically Android. They announced that they're going to be using the new software on some of their upper-end systems, but no exact details of which ones. They have been the Roku brand forever. I have two of these TVs, the TCLs, and they both have the built-in Rokus. It'd be good to see them moving over to also using the Android platform.
They announced the Android back in summer. I think the first Android TV version came out before Black Friday. So we talked about it before.
Yeah, I think this is the announcement that they're going to be using the new Google TV OS, the one that's basically like the Sabrina. So.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Okay.
No, that's good. So that means they're getting Android TV version 10.
Yeah.
All right, and
it's not 11.
This would be the one year where it would be great to own stock in just Android TV, because holy crap, it went from feeling like it was going to disappear to in the last year just blowing up everywhere and getting kind of like a new lease on life.
So that begs the question: is Android TV something that you can actually have stock in?
No.
Or do
you
mean
buy
Google?
Stock in Google? But that's what I'm saying. Is just it has blown up this year, and it kind of came out of nowhere because it was kind of like coasting on fumes before this year.
Yeah, I mean that I've said many times throughout 2020 that 2020 has been a great year for Android TV. We're finally seeing the forward movement that we desperately needed, but that signals to me that Google's going to kill it soon. Once people start to adopt it, it's dead.
Yeah, they'll probably wait at least until after COVID-19 before killing it.
All right, moving on. TCL is announcing that they are coming out with their new 6 series this year, including 8K models up to 85 inches and 4K models for not very much money. These are the ones that are going to be using the mini LEDs, as mentioned before with the LG models. You're going to have all, they've been using having these kind of displays for a while, but the TCL has announced that they're going to be updating their entire lineup with these. What are these kind of the AIPQ upscaling engine? I mean, there's so many buzzwords in this thing. I can't believe it, guys. It's so hard to keep up.
So
Yeah.
we're starting to see a pattern here, right? We see the strategy, how they're bringing 8K to the masses. So they're going to go with the mini LED technology, which is a good technology, by the way, right? But that's how they're going to make it, a little bit more affordable for the masses there.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I always love to go and look at the fancy new TVs and the coolest new technologies and stuff. It always annoys me when they aren't ready to tell us prices, though. I'm like, sure, but what is it really going to cost? They provide some good speculation in this particular article, which, based on history seems reasonable. It seems like pretty good, solid swags. But in the end, we don't know how much it costs. So it doesn't really help those of us that are kind of starting to plan out our TV purchases for the year, which may or may not be me.
We'll see. Okay. Because, Samsung also is going to try to make your life more difficult because they also have announced a bunch of TVs. They've got their new Neo line of QLED is coming. These are going to be 4K and 8K resolution using the full array local dimming and mini LEDs. These are going to be available in all different sizes, including up to I'm sure they're going to have some type of 80-inch model in there for you of these. And it's funny. This story is not trying to reference the new Matrix 4 movie that's coming out this year, but it does have Neo and Matrix and other things being mentioned in this. So I don't know. This sounds like they're just trying to mix their messages here. That's all I've got to say.
Well, Neo typically means like new. Mm-hmm. So like neoclassical music is like a throwback. These are Neo QLEDs.
I guess so.
They're more of a new spin on QLED.
But with a mini LED matrix and who knows what else.
So I'm noticing a trend. So everybody's going with the mini LEDs now.
Yep.
Are they going to follow the same form factor or same patterns as USB? So next we'll have USB, or we'll have micro LEDs and then LEDC.
Yeah, as long as they skip LED 3.0 or what, and 3.1, go to 3.2. I mean, go immediately.
Just go directly to LEDC.
Yeah, that'd be okay too. It was like, at least that'd be universal and they'd reversible.
The thing that I found interesting here was they're talking about some of the gaming related features and offering a gaming bar that you can long press your remote. So now we're adding long press features to remotes apparently. That's something that we did not need. But you long press and you get a gaming bar. That's kind of interesting. But the real story here is you get to bring back the black bars. They've been modifying TVs and aspect ratios to match the content. And so that's been great. We got rid of the black bars. First we had them on the top and bottom, and then we had them on the sides. And now you can bring them back so you can watch your games in your super cool 21:9 or 32:9 aspect ratios for ultra wide games. And oh, come on.
I need to correct you. The thing that was totally missed was the solar powered remote.
I think we had that as a story later on, but yes, it is a solar powered remote. I think that's awesome.
What?
That is pretty cool.
I guess it only help, or you can only use this TV if it's not being installed in a room that doesn't have good sunlight access.
No, apparently it will work with your internal.
Or you regularly. But what's the point of having a solar remote if you can't charge it? Unless are you required to take your remote for a walk regularly? Get it out of the house, give it a workout.
It says it will recharge with interior lights as well. But
it said it works with indoor lighting.
What bothers me is that the solar cell is on the back of the remote. I never put my remote down like that. Now you're going to change my behavior.
Why would you put your battery? Oh, well, no, I do sometimes. I just realized that there's some surfaces where if you don't, the remote can slide. Yeah, so I will put it rubber side down.
Right.
Now I'm just going to have to buy batteries and throw them away so that I make sure the waste keeps at equal levels.
Oh, joy.
No.
Don't let the landfills get too low, right?
Exactly. Gotta watch out for those landfills.
No. See, we don't have to worry about that. Battery usage isn't going down anytime soon. Microsoft still uses AA's to power their newest game controllers.
Well,
so
Samsung is
they're dedicated to filling those landfills.
Yeah, I do agree to that. Samsung says this could save 20 million AAA batteries every year. Like I said, what are we going to do about those landfill jobs that are going to get lost over this?
Well, no, it's what about those poor people at the Duracell factory that are going to get laid off?
Yeah. Battery people need jobs too. Come on, guys.
No more Energizer Bunny.
All right. We also have an announcement here that many of the new Sony Smart TVs this year are going to be coming out with their own interface using the Google TV's interface. These ones are going to be also using the brand new interface, much like the Sabrina was introduced this year. Many of their various models that were using the Android TV platform are going to be upgraded for these new versions to use the new Google interface. So sounds like that means TCL is going to do it, Sony's going to do it, LG's got their web TV. We'll probably see some other brands out there that pick which way they're going to go here, but it's amazing that these are coming out.
Yeah, cool.
All right, Hisense. Oh, I didn't read this article. They have a new Trichroma Laser TV. I have no idea what that means, but this is a new TV that's going to be anywhere from 75 to 100 inches. It's going to be is it going to be a projector? It looks like it's...
I'm hoping this is one of their short throws, because this is the thing that I've been enamored with every year that Hisense has had it, was the short throw laser projectors that mount right up against the wall and then shoot straight up on the screen.
Well, their claim to fame here is that they are able to provide actually fairly close color accuracy using these displays. So,
oh yeah, but that's what I was saying. That's why I've been so in love with these things. Is they look amazing. They're big because they're a projector technically, but they don't require you to mount it on the ceiling, and nobody's gonna get up to go to the bathroom and block the view. And because they, like I said, you can set them on a table or mount it on the wall right below the screen, and it just fires up.
My only question is, does it come on 24 frames per second mode? No.
Thank God. I would say no.
Hey,
tricorder TV.
Hey, well, you also have Asus with their Zenbeam Latte. This is their projector. It's a cute little thing. It's the size of a fairly large coffee cup. It will. It also works as a wireless speaker. Gives you the ability to give a little tiny display. Well, it goes up to 120 inches, but it's a 300 lumens brightness display.
Yeah, I was going to say it can probably do 100 inches, but not good
in pitch blackness. Yes, and
I was going to say if you are in a bunker.
I was going to say if you're still hiding in one of the caves in Afghanistan, you don't realize that. That's done. This could be good.
Yeah, and it comes with a little 10-watt Harman Kardon speaker in it, which doesn't sound like it's very much, but little speakers have gotten better over the past year, so it's probably better than you think it would be. And this is a cute little guy. It's it's portable. It's available for you to take around. It'll fit in your cupboard.
The only thing they need to do to this is make it mobile, So you can call it, and it'll come to the room where you are and start projecting.
Well, there were lots and lots and lots of robots at CES online this year, so I'm sure one of those robots would be happy to bring it to you, but that's not.
I still need one of those creepy clappy monster things from like a year. Was it last year or the year before?
It was the year before.
Oh,
I still remember
that thing still haunts my dreams.
All right, so we're going to move on from displays and move into sound bars. TCL's announced their first Roku TV ready wireless soundbar. This is a soundbar that is actually able to go up to one of the newer Roku TVs and able to pair with it wirelessly and easily get set up to be worked with your Roku TVs. So this is this is what we'll call the Alto R1, and it should be available in the next few months. I don't see a price on here, unfortunately. So
did we talk about this one already, or is this something new?
No, we talked about Roku had a new soundbar a couple of months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it also automatically pairs with Roku TVs. That's probably what you're thinking of. This is the first one by TCL.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Right.
Not
okay,
that
that's all right.
Knowing TCL, it'll be pretty inexpensive, so that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, but good quality. Bang for the buck.
Bang for your buck. That's TCL for you.
Yeah,
Dolby Atmos. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Should be pretty solid. I might look at that when it comes out.
Well, you might also be interested in Samsung's new soundbar. They have the Q soundbars. They are designed for optimizing your room by doing some analyzing of the sound in your room and able to provide you with a little bit of AI-assisted balancing of the sound. And it is able to give you AirPlay 2 for streaming sound from your iOS devices natively.
Okay.
Yeah. Looks
so
like
spatially aware then of where it's at in the room. That's pretty cool.
I like the concept of something you can put in the room and it just like does the white noise or the pink noise test and just goes, oh, this room, that's tinny, so we're gonna turn down that. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, most decent receivers do that. It's good to see it in being added to like soundbar.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. JBL Soundbar, JBL Bar 5.0 multi-beam soundbar. This is your Dolby Atmos soundbar. It's able to support your Alexa and your Google assistants. Coming in at $400, and probably the headline thing here is it's able to do the Amazon multi-room music mode. So if you wanted to have your music playing on multiple devices and you're using the Amazon services, this one can do it for you.
There you go, Mike. It looks like they're going after two different markets. The design looks a lot like the Bose soundbars, and the multi-room would be the Sonos. Yeah. So you can get Bose. You can get Bose. I can't think of the right word for like appearance.
Style,
but yeah.
Aesthetic.
Yeah, if you want Sonos functionality but with a Bose aesthetic for a JBL price, which is still fairly premium, but not as premium.
Ultimately, the real question is, does it have Sonos quality of sound? Because
well, it's JBL, so I would say yes, because Harman Kardon, which would be the parent company for JBL Infinity and Harman Kardon. They're my favorite speakers, hands down, typically. So I would say it's going to be at least comparable.
The only thing that makes me kind of be a little skeptical here is where it says it's going to be virtual Dolby Atmos, right?
Oh yeah,
which may not be quite as good. So
yeah, but I mean, if you're doing it's a simulated. Most of these sound bars are simulated because to get true Dolby Atmos, you'd have to have the elevation speakers, you'd have to have rear speakers, but you're not going to get that with the sound bar. They're just they're doing the simulated by bouncing. They've got the upward firing speakers to bounce the sound around.
Maybe if they've got it tuned just right, spatially aware like the other one, maybe so.
And it's worth noting that some people do it better than others. Because Mike might remember last year we sat through the Creative, their true Dolby Atmos soundbar. That's the one where we were watching the ridiculous helicopter scene from Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
But I mean, that thing sounded amazing.
Yeah, it did. It sounded really good. So.
And that was, again, simulated, but will this have enough speakers to pull it off? That's the big thing. So.
Right.
All right. Well, LG also gave us some soundbars to take a look at the show. The first ones they had here was called the SP2. This model is a kind of more of a budget-friendly model. It's smaller. It's got a built-in subwoofer, a 2.1. It's designed as a 2.1 speaker with an onboard subwoofers, while providing you with 100 watts of power. So it's a small but mighty guy from LG. They also introduced here a guy called the Eclair. The QP5 Eclair, and it's a little speaker that's designed to give you Dolby Atmos height. So it's a speaker that's trying to try to give you that 5.1 channel sound in this not so little speaker. It's a gigantic 440 watt guy.
So is it running Android 2.0?
Why do you say that?
Because that was Eclair.
I don't think so, but it probably could. It's probably got enough processing power to run that. So you run on a potato chip. So yeah, I can imagine that. I don't know. I'd have to be like in the room with these to really have an opinion on them. Other than that, they just look like I wouldn't know what to deal with these until I actually heard them. So. LG also announced a new soundbar for the gamers. They don't know what makes it a gamer soundbar, other than it is battery powered, kind of like your Creative Lab one. So you were able to take it around with you and take it to friend's house in order to have your LAN parties with your soundbar in tow.
Well, it has a built-in mic as well, so that's, I think, the gamer side of it is the ability to speak to and hear your friends without having to wear a headset or headphones all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea of having the mic in it isn't a bad idea, especially if they do a good job of noise canceling, which they should be able to do, since it's also the source of that sound, right?
Right.
But putting batteries in it and making it portable seems a little silly. I mean, that's the last thing we really want, is a bunch of people walking around with speakers listening to themselves play video games in airports and stuff like that. I mean,
I can remember when it was popular to tut around boom boxes, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So I would say, I think the market they're trying to compete in is with Creative, because Creative does have a gaming soundbar. It's got RGB. It's like all the things the gamers want. I don't think it has a microphone though. Whether or not that's a market they need to be in, I don't know. I am officially all in on the soundbar for the PC rather than trying to do a multi speaker setup. I'm a convert, but yeah, I don't know about this.
Okay. All right. Well, that's most of the hardware news we had from CES. I'm sure there's more out there, and I'm sure we'll cover it when we come across it. But here's a story. Spotify Kids, it's a thing that's been around for about a year or so now. Here's a feature that you would think would have been there for since it's launched. You can now share your playlists with your kids. What?
Hold on. I normally will speculate on this, and I can find out real quick. Hey, kid, would you be interested in a Spotify playlist that was curated by me? I don't know if you heard that. I saw the puzzled look and the question mark, sure, which is a no.
Oh, come on.
There was that many question marks at the end told me no.
Probably not. Probably not. Oh, I could see this for because a friend was like,
I mean, yeah, no. If you've got like a 5-year-old that is, and yeah, I can see if you've got a 5-year-old that's using Spotify, and you want to curate specific playlists for them, then yeah, that makes sense. If your kids are older than that, probably not.
Okay, well,
yeah.
What if you're a student and you really wish you could get yourself an access to Hulu, and you were broke? I mean, like really broke. What if I could tell you could, with a student account, sign up for Hulu, the ad version of it, ones with the ads, for $2 a month?
Haven't they had this for a while?
I don't. No, apparently this is.
Someone can maybe correct me after the fact, but I'm pretty sure that's how W. Scottus 1 was using Hulu for years. But okay.
I mean,
yeah, no, I think it was a higher price though.
Oh, it might have dropped the price. Then that's cool. I was going to say because I'm pretty sure that this feature, the student thing, already exists.
Yeah, they've had the student thing before, but in the article it says it's a discount of $4 from the calls, right?
Yes. So yeah, $2. That's a good deal.
So I mean, before you were saying that I probably was a bad dad because I wasn't buying my kids OLED TVs for their room.
No. I didn't say you were. I said they are gonna think you are.
I know. I was changing your words intentionally, but now you think. What are the other kids going to think about my kids' parents when they're like, you have to watch ads on your Hulu?
No. You got to remember, this isn't Hulu that you're buying for them. Well, this is when they're paying for Hulu themselves.
Right.
Again, back to that, what kind of parent would I be if I let my kid watch $2?
Well, you say, hey, number one, they are an adult. They no longer live in the house.
Yeah, pay for their own Hulu.
They pay for their own damn Hulu.
Yeah.
Yep, that's kind of how it works.
It seems fair to me.
If it doesn't work that way, okay. Well, parenting. So Netflix, everybody's been saying how amazing this new world we're getting with HBO Max. All these grade A movies are coming out, and they're going to be released day and date on HBO Max for the next year. And I heard a lot of people go, man, Netflix, they're just I feel like they're dying. I mean, it feels like I've watched everything on it. Netflix has went ahead and dropped their own little thing for the years, showing off how they're promising to provide a brand new movie every week for the entire year. So every week you're going to have something new to watch. So this is good because we've been seeing a lot of people wondering if they would be dropping Netflix for whatever reason. This could be something that keeps you going.
Remember, they didn't ever in any way suggest or imply that they are good movies. Just that there will be a movie every week.
So, I mean, I got to say, like, looking at this list, it sounds pretty darn exciting. So I'm happy that I have Netflix and I'm not getting rid of it. I mean, Red Notice with Gal Gadot, Dwayne Johnson, and Ryan Reynolds. I mean, those are three of my favorite actresses at the time, at this particular moment. I've been watching a lot of like Ryan Reynolds. I don't know if his stuff is direct to streaming, like Netflix created or whatever, but there's been a couple of movies that I've watched, I think on Netflix, that were really good, that maybe were there or just didn't get to theaters. Somehow I missed them or whatever.
Or he may have one of those exclusive deals like Adam Sandler does, where they say, hey, we're going to give you this much per movie for this many movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. But
Doesn't even have to be good.
They've all been good. I've enjoyed them. And to see this trio together, it makes me think that'll be good. Army of the Dead. I mean, that should be fun. And, anytime you got something of the dead, it's almost always an enjoyable movie.
So the question will be, how will it be impacted by Wonder Woman 84? Did that movie ruin or end Gal Gadot's career?
No. No.
You sure? I haven't met a single person that liked it other than you, Matt.
No.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
I thought you were the one that liked the movie. Somebody liked it,
probably.
Yeah,
but
Mike was the one.
Just because the movie wasn't good doesn't mean that she didn't do an excellent job in the movie. So some people may not like the movie. If people didn't like the movie, I suspect it is far more related to the story and the writing as opposed to.
Oh no, understood. But I mean, there have been many people that have been, on their meteoric rise, and then they sign on to something that ends up being terrible, and it's not their fault. And then all of a sudden, you don't hear anything about or from them.
Yeah.
But people are fickle.
I cannot imagine that Gal Gadot will be remembered as forever as she was in that bad movie Wonder Woman 1984. I imagine there will be many more movies like that. That being said,
this is the first time.
Go ahead.
I was going to say this is the first time since the first Wonder Woman movie, or since she appeared as Wonder Woman, that she's now would prefer people to think of her as Dom's girlfriend on the Fast and Furious movies.
So it looks like Netflix just came in and either actors or producers or troops and or completed movies that were supposed to be coming out this year and or part of last year due to the pandemic, and just basically said, we'll just pay you up front if we can have your movie for next year. This looks like that they were looking at all these this whole situation and has decided to spend their money perhaps a little wisely, perhaps not, but to give themselves a full slate. And good for you, Netflix. It probably was the right move. We'll see if it works for you.
Yeah. I was thinking that Army of the Dead might be a Game of Thrones spinoff, but it's not. It's just a zombie movie is what it is.
I initially thought it was a new spinoff of the Evil Dead movies.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping, but
it's not.
It's not. But regardless, zombies are always good movies.
Oh yeah, it'll be entertaining, no doubt.
Exactly. Yeah,
better be.
All right, so let's say you bought yourself a brand new Sony Bravia TV, and they're not.
How did you know?
They're not cheap, but they are really nice displays, and you're thinking to yourself, man, I wish there was some kind of really good movie I could play on this, but my DVD version of a movie is only at 480p. It's not going to be good enough to display on my 4K, 8K display. Sony's got the service for you, and it's included with the price of the TV. They are giving you access to what's called the Pure Stream, which is a bunch of movies that they have access to. They will stream to that Bravia TV and nothing else at 80 megabits per second, which is 4K Netflix is 25 megabits per second, so it's going to be a near lossless, high quality stream of these movies being sent to you for you to watch on your 4K or 8K Bravia TV. Their movies are, I don't know. I remember hearing about it, but I don't remember what the list was. But it's a decent list of movies.
I think that's a terrible name.
The Bravia?
No, the Pure Stream. When I hear Pure Stream, the first thing I think of is a certain party, Eastern European party, circa mid 1930s. Not a party I would ever want to attend. But
it looks like it's a bunch of the various Sony properties. You've got the Venom on there. You got new.
Oh no, I
Vin Diesel
understand. I'm
Bloodshot.
just saying the name. I really don't like that name.
I know. I was
that
moving
name
on.
is terrible.
Underworld, Ghostbusters, Resident Evil, The Da Vinci Code. These kind of movies that they are theirs.
Well,
they're going to be able to stream it to that TV in really high quality. Hopefully, be able to show off your TV and its specs for you.
I think this is a brilliant idea, right? If the TV makers want to, and especially if you're a TV maker that also makes movies, right? I mean, this just makes logical sense. And, everybody's going this way. They're building an ecosystem, buy the TV, you get the ecosystem with it, right? Or at least the entertainment system, movies with it. So yeah, I mean, this makes sense to me, and it's all included in with the price of the TV. I think that'll get people to buy TVs.
I'm surprised they didn't call it Bravia View.
Plus, go Max. So Dolby, the company that makes the sound standards that you've been using for your screens forever, is offering a new feature for your computers and other devices. That's going to be called Dolby Voice for PC. This is a setup that allows for the Dolby sound system on your computer, if it has it, to be able to do better things like do better noise cancellation of background noises, better recognition of what you're saying for if you're doing some type of voice assistance or doing some closed captioning. They are basically setting it up with a microphone and a speaker setup that will increase the clarity of you using your laptop for what we've been using it for almost a year now, all of our remote conferences. So, yay.
I mean, that's what laptops are designed to do in the first place. When they first started putting video cameras built in,
Yep.
No, this is awesome. It'll really depend on the price. If it's not outrageously expensive, then absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Very cool.
It's kind of cool.
All right, GameFly. You guys remember GameFly? It's still a thing. GameFly allows you to rent movies and video games. They have introduced a new subscription model. Actually, two different models. Basic one, which allows which is a cheaper one, and an elite model that's an elite plan, which gives you access to more 4K titles. These are basically the in addition to the existing model they had, subscription model they had before, which gives you access to things like 4K discs with the Elite account. You'll still be able to borrow games. If you have the basic one, it looks like it is purely to watch the movies. You don't get access to any of the video games. So, the old Netflix is still there. It kind of still was, but GameFly is still trying to do that thing with letting you get discs in the mail.
GameFly made perfect sense when it was the Netflix for games. I don't understand why they're doing movies.
It's it's the same.
Well,
model.
I mean, partly because their business model, they have no choice because new consoles don't have discs.
And they're moving on to what's left.
This is a last-ditch effort to stay alive. With streaming gaming becoming more pervasive, and consoles that come, like you said, without even having disc drives. So, they're trying to hang on, and adding movies makes sense, right? Like they already have everything set up to do it. It's you add a few more discs into the options menu, but it's a last-ditch effort. If you have stock in GameFly, you should probably think about reallocating those funds.
I used to be a huge fan of GameFly. They launched that company right when Xbox modding was at its peak. They saw their target. They said, "Hey, you need a steady supply of games to rip onto that hard drive. Yeah, we'll hook you up."
Yeah, I'm sure in 2021 they'll make hundreds of dollars.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, can you guys help me out here? I have a hard time keeping these things straight. AT&T TV Now was the new branding of DirecTV Now, right?
Don't look at me. I have no clue.
Well, we're supposed to know this stuff, guys. We're the VOD squad.
So they had DirecTV Now became AT&T TV Now.
Yes, AT&T
but then
TV
they had
Now,
AT&T TV,
which is not AT&T Now. It's different.
No. Yes.
Okay, but so if you had AT&T TV Now, you had it was that nice $65 or whatever package that got you all those those streaming packages available to you. But the new one, it's different somehow, right? It's more cable TV like, right?
So the other one has an actual box.
It does?
So they had the AT&T TV Now, which was the streaming version that was previously. The other one was a contract-based service that had it included physical hardware.
Okay. Well,
and they were
So guess what? They've dropped that requirement for AT&T TV to have the physical box. You can now stream it, but they are no longer accepting subscriptions for AT&T TV Now. You have to now go to the more cable-like AT&T TV because AT&T TV Now is no longer available. If you have it, you can still have it. You can still stream it. You're fine, but no more new subscriptions. And oh yes, by the way, prices start at $70 for AT&T TV, and they go up to a ridiculous 100 and how much for the high end? Ugh,
it's like close to $200, right?
I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Which
all I know is. AT&T, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, you managed to pull out a win with HBO Max. I'm just waiting to find out how they screw that up.
I'm just wondering how many marketing teams AT&T has gone through.
But,
all these name changes.
Every time they acquired a company, they had to do something with their marketing team. Okay, we're done with you, and we're done with you. I mean, geez, guys.
I mean, DirecTV Now was fine. It worked. It was a decent product. People understood what it was. I never understood why they had to go monkey with that. But at this point, I don't even know. I
mean, it's like now is not AT&T TV Now, TTV Now, but now was now.
But now is then.
But then
that was then.
Not TV.
AT&T
now.
TV not now.
Now, yeah. I mean,
tomorrow is Plus,
Max,
Extreme. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm to the point now where I'm not even trying to bother to keep it straight. I just don't care. I'm done. I am done with those. Just I don't know.
All right. How about this? Would you like to go and watch a concert on the streaming service so you can watch it on your TV?
No.
I don't know. What would it cost you to go to a concert in person? What would it cost you?
It depends on the band.
Right.
Anywhere from $10 to $100 and something.
Yeah. So let's say there's a bunch of these lower end, not necessarily headlining bands and out there, and really they're kind of suffering in the current environment. So they went ahead and introduced a new streaming service. It's called Banderstown. No,
it's Bands in Town.
Bands in Town. I see the band Sin Town, so I don't know.
Yeah, Bands. No, it's Bands in Town. I've used for many years. They're the ones that their whole model was around you connect them to your Facebook profile and your Spotify profile, and then the bands that you like, they will send you notifications when, hey, that band you like is just announced they're playing in your town
Nice.
next month.
Well, they now have a $10 a month, $9.99 a month.
Yeah.
Give you an all-access pass to the streaming concerts available to many different little bands, which should be up to 25 concerts a month for $10 a month. If you're into the music, it's not a bad idea.
I'm not the target because I go to concerts for the concert experience.
Right.
I don't want to listen to concert. The thing I hate the most is live CDs. Because why? So yeah, same thing with the video. I wasn't there. It doesn't matter.
It's not a good business model. I mean, think about it, right? Once you see your favorite band or two, you're going to cancel the next month,
but
right?
you got to remember that
even if you want to do this, you're going to do it for 1, maybe 2 months, and then you cancel.
But you got to remember that this service was essentially their entire revenue stream died when people stopped doing live concerts.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
So, I mean, I understand why they're doing this because they're trying to, stay alive.
Yep.
Kind of like my local movie theater is sending out emails with coupons to other businesses trying to, make money on the referral.
Yep.
Same thing.
I mean, I strongly disagree, and here's where I come from. First of all, I look at this list and I either don't recognize a single name on there, which I think that's probably true, or I definitely am not interested in listening to any of them live in band. However, if this was a list of power metal bands, I would probably be interested in hearing almost all of them live and watching their concerts. At which case, if to me for $10 a month, if I saw one concert that I liked, I'd be okay with that. And if they're running 20 a month, if they had a good mix of genres, which it doesn't appear they do, these look like they're mostly, house bands type stuff, pop music and.
Oh, you desperately want to watch Soccer Mommy.
So question, Mike. Let's say they had all your favorite bands there. Would you keep that subscription for a year or more?
I mean, if they were doing one of those bands every month, absolutely, yeah. I would probably have that subscription indefinitely. The thing is, I enjoy going to concerts far more than listening to live albums, but I also enjoy quality live albums. The one caveat there is the keyword quality. There are a lot of live albums that end up not being particularly good, but some bands are outstanding in concert and their live albums are very good and worth listening to and watching. So, and I'm not a musician, so maybe I don't have the same level of criticism that Clyde has. But
no, it's a completely personal thing. And that's, I would never tell someone don't buy a live album. Don't do this. I'm just saying it's not for me. I don't like live albums. So, and also, Diamond Thug and Fleet Foxes.
Ooh.
Not interested.
Oh, okay.
I listen to some really obscure stuff and I don't even recognize anything on this list. So if I was interested in any of the bands performing, I would probably sign up. I have a sneaking suspicion that if you just check on Twitch, you'll probably find most of these bands already streaming.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, you may not be interested in live bands, but what most people were interested in were old shows that they used to watch all the time, because Nielsen came out with their reports about what streaming shows were most popular, and unfortunately, in my point of view, a lot of old television shows were what most people were streaming. Looks like things like The Office, Grey's Anatomy, and Criminal Minds top the list. So this is this is the kind of stuff people put on in the background, I guess, to watch while
people have their comfort shows.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue that there were a lot of people that were binging on The Office to try and get it before it moved.
That's true.
Because they just removed it from Netflix and put it on Peacock. So, but yeah, I mean, people like the shows, they give them the warm fuzzies.
So I don't think that's incorrect, though. What I would say is probably what you're getting a lot of is people having more time at home to watch TV right now in 2020 specifically. Yeah. And so they're going back and watching the shows they missed. Like, I never watched 24, so I could see myself going back and binging 24. I never finished The Office, so I could see myself binging The Office to catch up on the last 2 seasons. Never saw Parks and Rec. That's one that I've heard recommended many, many times. So I could see. So I think what you're getting is people having a lot of time and therefore going back and catching up on the things that they'd always been told, oh, you should watch, or that they never quite finished for whatever reason. I never finished NCIS. So I might consider going back and catching the last few seasons of it. I think there's probably a lot of that kind of thing going on this year.
Mm-hmm. All right. We have a little news about Google's Assistant. They have a new feature on the Assistant you can use if you feel like it. You can walk up to your assistant and you can say, yo, G-Man, turn on guest mode. And that will change the device so it is no longer doing anything permanently recorded onto your account. This is like an incognito mode for your assistant, which allows somebody to be using your device and whatever they say or do isn't attached to your account.
But make sure you don't tell it to eat a 5-star first.
Oh, come on. I want it to do that. It's the story.
No.
Week.
I'm saying if you tell it to eat a 5-star first, then try to tell it
it won't do it.
It won't do it. That's what I'm saying. So make sure you do the G-Man thing first, then tell it to eat a 5-star.
I want it to do that here. I mean, it's not here. I wish it was. I would totally do the 5-star thing all the time. I want to even try go to find a
I would go to random people's houses and change theirs. They would have no idea what was going on.
If for some reason you missed it last week, there was a story about a new feature for India. You can tell a Google Assistant to eat a 5-star, which is a candy bar, and that would cause the assistant to turn into a sassy pants mode and not do anything for you.
Becomes absolutely worthless.
Hilariously funny responses.
Now imagine if that happened to your Android assistant and you weren't the one that turned it on.
Yeah, no.
Just being like, what is going on?
No, I think you should do that.
No, but that's what I was saying. I want to go around to people, just random people, and change their thing without them knowing.
Yeah. So a couple of things. This is interesting to me because, we have Echoes throughout our house. So, obviously the Google side of it isn't going to help. But as far as I'm aware, this feature doesn't exist on the Echo. And so being able to have like my streaming availability, meaning Amazon Music and stuff like that on the Echo, but it not screwing up my recommendations, like say when I have a guest over or something, I think that would be pretty cool. So I like this idea. I think it's beneficial. Or the other thing that happens pretty regularly, even with YouTube, so I have to like go on to guest account in YouTube so that I doesn't screw up my things, is somebody's like, hey, you got to check out this video. It's hilarious, but it's like a genre of music that I would never want to listen to or something like that. Or, a comedian that I don't want to get like spammed with that person's in my recommendations. I go to my guest account. So I love this idea. I think it's really good that they have it. And I think it would be good to have that on all speaker type systems, Siri, Alexa, everything. So.
All right. Well, if you like the Alexa and Siri, sorry for Siri here, but Onico and Pioneer has come out with a bunch of new receivers. These are up to date with all the new features, including HDMI 2.1 for so you can use your 8K and 4K displays and your high refresh rates. It's going to be offering a bunch of cute little things. The one thing that looks good to me is the ability to do two-way Bluetooth, which means I can use one of these receivers and then send the sound to my headphones. And also send audio to the receivers itself. That sounds really awesome. It's going to have the ability to use all the DTS:X and your Dolby Atmos for your surround systems, and it will also have the functionality of being used by the Google Assistant and the Amazon Assistant. So these are full-fledged receivers for the modern age, starting off at around $500 for the low-end Onico. And going up to Onkyo, and going up to over $1,000 for your Pioneer models. So it looks like you're going to have quite a selection of new models coming out. And it looks like they didn't even release anything last year. So for some people, this is exactly what they were looking for.
Yeah, Onkyo is what I use now. That's what I have hooked up in my home theater now. It's a good quality. I'm glad to see that they're coming out with this here for the 8K.
Yeah. I just finally bought a 4K capable receiver last year.
Oh man.
And and now the 8Ks are out. But that's okay. I still don't have a 4K TV.
Yeah. You need to just keep an eye out for a lightly used 4K that comes out after the football game.
I'm happy with the screens I have. No, this is good. Always good to see new stuff happening. Receivers don't get as much love as they deserve anymore.
No.
Yeah, I mean, with the proliferation of sound bars and stuff, you don't really need a good receiver like this unless you have a nice home theater type setup or built-in speakers and stuff like that. This is still by far the best solution, is to have a good receiver and good quality speakers all around you. But you're getting a good enough quality from the virtual surround out of sound bars and stuff that the majority of people are completely happy with that. And the cost difference is very dramatic. So,
it's not cheap to have. I mean, I have it, right, and of course, I paid for it, right. You pay a bigger price, but and it comes down to preference and if you want to spend the money or not. But if you like having that, theater type sound, right there in your living room, then I mean, I've had it for years now. I've had the system I have now since like 2004, I think, is when I bought the speakers. I've swapped out the receiver a couple of different times. But yeah, when you get those nice speakers, surround sound with the subwoofer, right, and all. I mean, watching movies, and even I'll tell you something else that's good to watch too, is like sports games, right? Like a football game or something like that. You really hear the it's fake crowd noise now, right? But back when you had crowds, and you could really hear the crowds. It was almost like you were sitting in the bleachers, right? When you'd have the crowds there and all.
Yeah.
So, but it's not cheap. Right, you're probably going to spend a 4-digit number at least on it, right?
Possibly. All right, and with that is actually the whole news for the day. I mean, goodness sakes! Oh man, that was
sweet,
decent amount. I want to just take a moment here to tell everybody that if they appreciate what we can do for you guys, you can show your love with us by going to patreon.com/thevodsquad. And if you already do go there and send money to us, thank you very much. This is the kind of stuff that we love to do for you, and we hope to keep on doing it. So thanks a lot.
Next.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm gonna. We should probably do a little bit of ranting and raving. All right, guys, who gets to go first?
I'll go first since I usually go last.
Aw.
Mm-hmm.
There was a show on YouTube TV, or I guess it was YouTube Premium, formerly YouTube Red, whatever, called Cobra Kai. Anybody remember it? YouTube.
Yes.
The show got canceled because the platform went away.
Okay.
Netflix brought it back, gave us season 3, and I think they should have let the show die.
Oh no.
The show was great. It is absolutely terrible now.
Now, did they do something to make it terrible, or was it just bad
No,
from the
I
beginning
think
to season 3?
it's the writing, the direction that they took the story. It's just I got halfway through season 3 and I literally rage quit in the middle of an episode. It was just impossible to watch. And you have to take into consideration the absolute I can't think of a word that won't get me bleeped. That I watch on a regular basis due to Movie Party, and I couldn't even
lower standard quality movies. That's what we'll call it.
Ship High in Transit is what the acronym stands for. Yeah, no. So I playfully say that Netflix broke Cobra Kai, but I think Netflix is gonna the writers broke Cobra Kai, but Netflix is gonna get the blame. They tried to do a good thing. It just goes to show you, anytime you try to do something good for somebody, you're gonna get it. It bites you.
I'm so sorry.
So.
Who knows? Maybe Netflix was beating them in the back for a deadline.
All I gotta say, if I've only seen like a couple episodes of the first season, and I want to get back to it sometime.
Yeah. The first 2 seasons are good. I watched the first 2 seasons on Netflix.
Right.
Great, good first 2 seasons. Right.
Season 3 is like constantly like, hey, remember there was a movie where Daniel went to Japan, and they keep going back to that. It's just like, and that's not even the worst part. The worst part is just with the characters. It just
maybe it redeems itself.
The writing is terrible.
I'm sorry.
The writing is terrible. It's.
I'm going to watch the 3rd season, but just because I'm already invested in the first 2 seasons now. All right.
Just remember, there's a episode where they have a Halloween party, and that's where
that's where you lost it. Okay.
Yeah. So when you're watching the episodes, yeah.
If it suddenly gets really good after that, let Clyde know, because he didn't know.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, what I found in Cobra Kai, right? Because you got to remember, Karate Kid was an 80s movie, right? And in Cobra Kai, they kind of still keep that same style of storytelling, as if it's almost like an 80s movie, right? So it's kind of that, which I don't mind that. I like that, actually, right?
So that was fine. The nostalgia was fine. It's just the way they're writing these characters, it's like they didn't know where to go and just kind of whatever. But it's just it's bad. It is absolutely bad. I would rather watch Wonder Woman 84 than finish this season.
Wow. Ooh, that's a bird.
So,
Clyde.
That's it. That's all I got.
All right. Jimmy, you got something?
Yeah, I do. So me and my wife started watching Succession, the HBO Max show. So we just started watching that. We've made it through the first season already. We're now about maybe 2 episodes, I think, into the second season. And we're both, we're both giving it 2 thumbs up there. We're really enjoying that one. That's, the writing's pretty good there. And I have to say, the, superiority complex that a lot of New Yorkers have, I think that they capture that pretty well. Right. In this, not all New Yorkers have that. Right. But certain.
Sure, they do.
Certain New Yorkers have that. Right. And they can, and it's not so much New Yorkers, but maybe that wasn't too fair to say, but people with a lot of money, right, have that superiority complex. And, I'm sure everybody.
Oh, so you were talking Connecticut.
Yes.
New York, people that were from New York that moved to
I've done
Connecticut.
in my life.
Yeah, that probably would be
I know
more.
I've made mistakes.
They capture that
But
pretty
I've
well. If
always
you've ever
tried
met
to
somebody
do the
like
best
that,
by
right?
because
and you watch
love
this
them.
show, you'll know exactly what I mean.
Have you
Right.
thought about the possibility that your children are actually
really
scared?
good, well acted.
Fuck off.
It keeps you entertained, keeps you wondering what's going to happen next. Right? They kind of keep you guessing at it.
Dad, nobody watches TV.
And then there's funny parts to it as well, right? I mean, there's parts of it where it'll make you laugh, right? You're like, oh my god, I can't believe they just did that.
They have to. That's the whole reason that they that you cast a Culkin. You need someone you can kick around.
Oh, right.
Because that's Kieran Culkin. And yes, my daughter is named after
Under
him.
you. Can we think about it?
Of course.
I thought about it. Fuck you.
But
And to hear the also too, one of the big characters in there also starred in MI5. The
is that
BBC.
Brian Cox?
Yeah.
The patriarch of the family?
Well, he's the one that is, the boyfriend of the daughter.
Oh,
right?
I'm thinking. I was talking about the old man.
Yeah, no, not him.
Okay.
No, not him. No, he played in MI5, so he speaks with an American accent, but he's really a British guy, right?
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, I think there's a couple of characters in there that are actually Brits, but speaking with American accents, right?
Okay.
But well done show though.
All I gotta say is that I was just peeking at the audio, peeking at the trailer of it, and apparently that audio got transmitted out to everybody. So, and the trailer has at least 1 or 2 bad words in it. So I gotta. Oops, sorry guys. I had it quiet though. I apologize.
Yeah.
That's my fault. All right. Michael, you got anything this week?
It's I live in Austin, Texas, so it's not often that I get to enjoy snow.
Oh.
And in fact, that's probably the only reason I did enjoy snow this week. We got like 3+ inches of snow in one day.
Ooh, 3 inches.
It was absolutely outstanding. It was that perfect dense snow that you can literally just pick it up and you've got a snowball in your hand ready to throw. We walked around the block and had snowball fights with our neighbors and went sledding. One of Kiara's, my daughter's friends, had sleds left over from when they moved from New York like 12 years ago or something. And so we were able to go sledding. It was an absolute blast. And the next day it had almost all melted, which is exactly how I like my snow. It was a great week. Didn't get to watch much TV, probably won't for another couple of weeks because I've got lots going on at work, but I had a little bit of a break over the weekend and it was awesome.
Wonderful. Glad to hear that. So 3 inches of snow, was that like considered a national emergency and they, made sure
It was a
they closed the
Sunday.
highways and
They canceled school the next day just because it was like, holy crap, it snowed here. What are we going to do? And I mean, like by the evening, the snow was already melted off of the roads and stuff. But they're
How are
like,
people going to telecommute if there's snow? Does the internet work? even work?
No,
Does
it
the
doesn't
internet
work.
even work?
No, of course it doesn't
Yeah.
work.
So it was like at about 7:00 at night or something, they texted, everybody got texts and voicemails and stuff saying school's canceled tomorrow. I'm like, the snow's already melted on the roads. It's not even going to be below freezing overnight. Why are we canceling school tomorrow? But hey, the kids loved it. It was great.
Okay. All right. Well, I this last weekend I celebrated a birthday for myself, and so I got to spend a lot of time with family. And one of my favorite things is I got a new office chair. This one here is my old chair. My new chair is in my other room, but this chair is significantly better than the one I was sitting in, and I appreciate it because it's very nice. Other than that, for my birthday, I also ended up getting a copy of a World of Warcraft Shadowlands. I had been holding off on that for a while, and I've been starting to play it. It's a lot of fun. I'm sure I will be spending a lot of time in the underworld, in the worlds of death in the World of Warcraft game.
I'm impressed that you made it tonight. I mean, usually the week after somebody gets a new WoW expansion, it's just like
I know people.
What happened to that person? Has anybody heard from Matt? Like, we need to call him or go to his house. He may be dead.
I am not that kind of WoW player. I am much more casual than that, but I do enjoy the games. I held off this year because it was coming out so close to Christmas and my birthday that I wanted to allow it as somebody to give it. Because people have a hard time figuring out what they want to get me, and I just basically say, if you want to get me something easy, here's something you can get. I'm going to get it anyways if you don't. And so it's nice. And I'm enjoying it, and I will probably spend much more time in that world playing for funds. Other than that, no, I haven't done anything. I was trying to get ready for this show, and last night I was getting, they got the cool little spinning graphic in the corner. I was going to have some big graphics as well and things like that. But while rendering, my power went out, which means that, I guess I just get the one. It's all right. It's good enough for me.
No, it looks good.
All right. With that, that's the stories and the news for the week, and that was another great show. Thank you guys for coming and watching and being here with me. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys again next week at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Is it 9?
9 p.m.
9 p.m. Central, Wednesday night.
Wednesday nights. So, yep, with that, I'm going to go ahead and call this a night, and see you guys later.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.